What's going on, everybody? Matty here, and we are back with a whiteboard video. I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these, but there has been a request to bring them back, and I felt like I wanted to add more of an informative aspect back into this channel as I've been getting a lot of questions. So I'm taking those questions, writing them down, and I will turn them into video topics moving forward. So this video is going to be talking about breaking the plateau. So you hit a weight loss or a fat loss plateau. Why did that happen, and what can you do to move forward? And that's what we're going to cover in this video. All right, so if you guys have seen my whiteboard videos before in the past, you know I like to keep them quick, simple, and easy to understand. So you see a whole bunch of shit written here. We're gonna break it down, so let's jump right into it. So first things first, what is a weight loss or a fat loss plateau? It simply means you're no longer losing weight or losing fat. So that scale number is staying the same. But it's important to look at all the factors that can influence that before you panic and start making changes to your calorie intake and your energy output. So you have to be sure that it is an actual and true weight loss stall or plateau before you make those changes. And we're going to talk about how you can determine that and what you can do to adjust things to keep that number going down on the scale. So we are always going to come back down to right here. Calories in versus calories out. So a calorie is a unit of energy. If your energy in, your calories in, are exceeding your calories out, you are not going to lose weight. It's as simple as that, but it's more complex than that. But that's just the simple way to look at it. You're taking in more than you are expending. That's it. We're always coming back to this. So with that said, what are some factors that can influence the scale number? So if you're one of those people who may weigh themselves every single morning, first thing in the morning, and you write that number down, you'll know that that number fluctuates a lot due to a bunch of different factors, but it's important to zoom out and look at the big picture. Don't focus too much on those day-to-day fluctuations. Look at the weekly averages, week after week, month after month, and make sure that the trend is going down. And that is why I drew this scale here. That's what true weight loss looks like. It's never just a linear path all the way down like that. It's going to have spikes up and down. But again, zoom out, look at the big picture, and see how things are changing over time. So with that said, here are just a few factors that can influence that scale number. So you have your water retention, you have digestion, fiber, sleep, stress, menstruation, females, hormones. Hormones are going to be a huge thing that can affect the way your weigh-ins are every single morning. You know, things like digestion, people don't think about that. If you had a late meal at night and then you wake up first thing in the morning, you weigh yourself, you may not be fully digested, your weight might spike a little bit. You went out to Chipotle and you had a burrito, that's going to be high in sodium. You might be holding on to a little bit of water, that is going to show up on the scale. So that's why focusing on these day-to-day fluctuations is not the best approach. You can weigh yourself every morning so you have more data, but look at the big picture. Always remember that. So now that we got some of the factors out of the way and we understand it's calories in versus calories out, let's talk about real weight loss and what we should be looking at. So you probably heard you should lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. And that number gets thrown around across the board for men and women. But how realistic is that when you start getting to a lighter body weight? If you keep losing 1 to 2 pounds per week, you're going to disappear soon, especially some smaller people, smaller females. If you consistently lost 1 to 2 pounds per week and you're only 110 pounds, you're gonna end up 80, 70 pounds, and well, that's not gonna be very healthy. So we look at it as a total percentage of your body weight. A healthy number would be around 0.5 to 1% of your total body weight. So the example we're using, I feel like everyone uses the example, a 200-pound male. So that's what we're gonna go with. A 200-pound male, if he's losing 0.5 to 1% of his 200 pounds every week, he's losing 1 to 2 pounds per week, that number that we're all familiar with. But if he drops down to 180, so now he's lost 20 pounds, instead of losing 1 to 2 pounds per week consistently, that 0.5 to 1% turns into 0.9 to 1.8 pounds per week. And as his body weight keeps dropping, that percentage will be lower and lower because the less body mass you have, the less energy your body requires. So that's why it's better to look at it as a percentage of your total body weight rather than just focusing on an arbitrary 1 to 2 pounds per week, because that number just won't work as you get leaner and leaner. So how do we get through the plateau? That's what you guys are here for. That's what you want to know. You are not losing weight. What do? We look over to this section over here. The first thing we do is we reevaluate. Are we just not in a calorie deficit anymore? Do we need to drop our calories a bit? But before you panic and do that, look at some other factors like mindless eating. Trust me, I've been guilty of mindless eating. You don't realize you're doing it. That's why it's called mindless. So you open the pantry, you grab a few Pringles, and you don't track that into your MyFitnessPal or your calorie or macro tracking app because It's only, what, 15, 20 calories? I don't need to track that. You go out with your friends, you have a drink. All of these little calories can add up. Every time you put your hand in that bag of chips, grab a cookie, have a spoon of ice cream, if you look at it like the small picture means it's just a few calories. But if you do that a few times over the course of a day, it could be, say, 200 calories a day you're mindlessly eating over 7 days. That's 1,400 extra calories you're consuming per week that you didn't realize you were consuming. That could be one of the reasons why you're no longer losing weight, even though you think you're in a calorie deficit based on the numbers you set up for yourself. So, mindless eating. Make sure you're tracking your macros as accurately as possible. Your NEAT, N-E-A-T, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's simply the calories you're burning just going through your day. So non-exercise, like right now I'm not exercising, but I'm fidgeting, I'm moving my hands, I'm creating a video, I'm on my feet. These things burn calories. As you diet and as you get leaner, your body tends to slow down a little bit. So maybe instead of taking the stairs, you take the elevator. These little things add up, and I've actually read, and there are some studies that it can add up to over 1,000 calories per day. I know that's an absolute crazy number, but you'd be surprised that the people who are very sedentary are not going to lose weight as fast as the people who are more active. So keep that in mind. As you diet down, your energy levels drop a bit. You may not be as active outside of the gym. So try and do things like go for a walk, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Those calories will add up. Trust me. You have your intensity. As we talked about, energy starts to drop as your calorie intake decreases and you get smaller, so you keep losing body fat. Your energy levels aren't going to be as high. Your intensity may suffer a little bit in the gym, so you're not training as hard, therefore not expending as many calories. So all of these things can add up, and it's not things that you think about. So we reevaluate everything from our diet to our training to our cardio to our nutrition, all that. Maybe you need a refeed, and that's simply just a refeed day where you're still tracking your macros, but you bring your calories up to maintenance. So if you're in a 300 calorie deficit, get those 300 calories back in from carbohydrates, and that can help with your performance, it can help with your mood, it can help you feel better, exert more energy, and that can get things moving again. And on top of that, if you've been dieting for an extended period of time, you could do something like a diet break. That simply means get yourself out of that deficit, bring yourself to maintenance calories for a week, maybe even 2 weeks if you've been dieting for a long time, and that can get things moving again. So there are a bunch of different things you can do to get through a weight loss or a fat loss plateau. It's always going to come down to calories in versus calories out, but it's not going to be as simple as keep reducing calories, keep increasing cardio. Look at the big picture of everything. Make sure you're not focused on just day-to-day fluctuations. Look at the weeks, look at the months and the averages, and reevaluate a few things. So I hope that makes sense. I know people make it seem so easy. Whenever you ask someone, why am I not losing weight anymore? They immediately just say, you're not in a calorie deficit, but they don't tell you what you can do or what things you can look at to reevaluate to make sure that you can continue making progress. So with that said, it is simple, but it's not easy. Otherwise, everyone would be consistently losing weight and never have trouble. So take a look at all of this. This all matters. Go ahead, take a screenshot of that so you can remember it. But if you guys want me to dive into more detail about a specific topic, like if you guys want a separate video just talking about diet breaks, just talking about refeed, just talking about your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, we can break it down more detailed than this, but I want to give you a big picture of why you may not be losing weight, why you may have hit a stall, and things you can look at and things you can adjust to keep that scale weight going down and keep reaching your goals. So with that said, I hope you guys did enjoy this whiteboard video. If you're interested in more of these, please do me one favor, click that thumbs up button. That really helps me out. Leave a comment down below about other whiteboard videos you would like to see in the future. And that's it. So thank you all for the support. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you in the next video. Just a heads up for anyone who's interested in my one-on-one online coaching, I do have some spots available right now. So whatever your goals may be, we can help you get there. You can go ahead and click where it says click to apply, and that will take you right to the questionnaire on my website. Or you could simply email me, Matty@FusaroFitness.com for more information. So thanks guys, I look forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you all in the next video.